there are risks, very real risks associated with exposure to psilocybin. So in our studies at Johns Hopkins, in a therapeutic context, and when we are doing studies in healthy volunteers, we very carefully screen our volunteers. We develop rapport with them. The drug is given under very tightly supervised and supportive context, and we do aftercare with them. Why do we do this? So the reason that we do this is because, unfortunately, psilocybin can produce some very difficult, long-lasting, and potentially harmful effects. So number one is that under the influence of psilocybin, people can have panic or fear reactions, and they can end up engaging in dangerous behavior. And it's uncommon, but it's not unheard of, to read reports where people run out into traffic, jump out of windows, flee in ways that get themselves or other people into trouble. Two is that there really is concern, and this is more serious than just the panic. There really is concern that in some individuals, exposure to psilocybin and other compounds of this serotonergic hallucinogen class can precipitate enduring psychiatric illness. The worst possible case would be precipitation of psychosis or schizophrenia in someone who's already vulnerable to that disorder. And that's a lifelong, irreversible disorder that is disastrous.
No. Wait. Wait.
When everything breaks at the seams and you feel like you're losing belief. Well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. When it all falls apart and goes wrong. When you feel let down and so lost. And it feels like you can't hold on. Well, damn it, you just gotta stay strong. 'Cause sometimes things go wrong. And one day everything's gone. But you can make it out and move on. So damn it, you just gotta stay strong.
I've said this in the past before. What is it with certain states and politicians and all that? Do they just want to push legalization on a lot of these drugs, or marijuana or cannabis, recreational cannabis laws? They're trying. A lot of other states are trying to push these into that. Here in New York, it has failed utterly. It just literally. There are more lawsuits coming out of this, and more usage in the illegal market. You have stores cropping up left and right that's selling illegal, not only illegal cannabis and edibles, they're selling untaxed cigarettes, they're selling illegal vape pens, and we're hearing the situation that also magic mushrooms is now showing up in some of these places. Well, for us, it's across the bridge. Some of us are through the tunnel. If you live in New York, New Jersey is looking to legalize magic mushrooms for recreational use. And they claim, well, it's going to treat mental health. I don't think enough research, and this is the situation. People say, well, they've done a lot of research with cannabis. They've done a lot of research in magic mushrooms. They've done a lot of research with cocaine. Most of this you have to understand, these days, the way research goes, most of it is the Cliff Notes. And it's cherry-picked on what the best stuff is so they can push these agendas out to you. We're going through situations where fentanyl, opioids, are killing people throughout the country. Painkillers were pushed back years ago. It was done easily. With just a signature of a pad. A dentist would give you a painkiller just for, I got my back home here, I need a painkiller. And people got addicted to that. We're finding out today There's a couple of reports out that the higher concentration level on cannabis is causing paranoia, schizophrenia. People say, "Well, no, that's incorrect. You don't have any proof." No, proof is coming out, and it's been done by emergency room research has been done on millions of emergency room visits, and you're finding a good chunk of it is from cannabis use. Why do it for recreational? I've always said, hey, listen, if it has a medical use and, if it's researched properly and given the doses given properly, like every other drug we use, it might help. But if it's something that's too dangerous, too deadly to be used because it could be very addictive, why approve it? Why approve it? And you're approving it for recreational cannabis. More and more kids are now smoking marijuana than when I was a kid. Smoking cigarettes was the big thing when I was young, not pot. As I got older, into high school, to that. And magic mushrooms got into the situation. I hung around with people that did magic mushrooms. And I tell you, they didn't fare out too well on certain situations. You mix a little bit of magic mushrooms and you start to drink alcohol and you smoke pot. It kind of had an adverse reaction, and trust me, it wasn't pretty. But we're going to read into this off the NewJersey.com. New Jersey looks to make magic mushrooms legal for recreational use and to treat mental health. It took at least 5 years of public debate, lobbying, and bill amendments for New Jersey to make marijuana legal for recreational use in 2021. You can listen to what that said. 5 years of public debate, lobbying, and bill amendments, not research, okay? Now that the state may do the same with psychedelic mushrooms, but much faster. After it was pulled back for revisions late last year, a bill was reintroduced in the state Senate last week that sets up a legal framework for the manufacture and sale of products containing psilocybin, the chemical in magic mushrooms that produce a hallucinogenic effect. The bill would decriminalize the use of psilocybin by anyone over 21 and expunge the past and pending offenses involving the drug. Although the language in the bill called Psilocybin Behavior Health Access and Services Act is centered around mental health, its provisions would decriminalize recreational use. Anyone or older could possess, store, use, ingest, inhale, process, transport 4 grams of less of psilocybin. And it's not going to happen that way. They're going to carry a lot with them. Marijuana alone proved that. Unlike marijuana, residents will be allowed to grow their own mushrooms for personal use in their homes under the bill. The bill's reintroduction comes as one of the largest health providers in New Jersey hopes to use psychedelics as a treatment for severe depressions and other disorders. Hackensack Meridian announced Tuesday a partnership with Compass Pathways, a UK-based biotechnology company, to research the company's synthetic psilocybin treatment. See, they're pushing this without even the research being done. Okay? The research hasn't been done. Oh, just pass it. What's the old say?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Does that sound familiar? Pass it and take the drug, and we'll figure out everything else later. That could lead to clinical trials and eventually create a real change for people suffering with some of the most difficult to treat mental health conditions, Hackensack Meridian CEO Robert Garrett said in a statement. The research is not affected by whether New Jersey's bill becomes law because clinical trials and other activities are governed by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which allows them under strict protocols, said Kenneth Easer, Senior Vice President for Behavioral Health at Hackensack Meridian. There is still a lot of research that needs to be done, but from what we've seen, it looks promising. From what research? Said Dr. Erica Allison, a psychiatrist who has led Hackensack Meridian involvement in the non-traditional forms of mental health treatments. Psychedelics needs to be under controlled environments like a clinical trial, Elisar said, these are not simple chemical compounds. They are complex and create significant changes in the brain. Yes. See, there's something there that you need to understand. They are complex and create a significant change in the brain. Imagine if a person underage on there, that still their brain is developing, and they start taking magic mushrooms. What do you think happens? Maybe they should look into the usage of cannabis and magic mushrooms in youths. Maybe might be some of the causes of the mental issues that happens in adults. It could be the drugs, it could be the alcohol, it could be a gambit of situations. But nobody does that research. They don't do that pure research. Let's just drug everybody up. Let's just inject everybody with tranquilizers and have them smoke marijuana, have them eat, do magic mushrooms. This is the situation where we're at. There's that whole thing. If that segment in Star Trek Next Generation where Q says, there's a moment with the military we're controlled by drugs.
Rapid progress to where humans learn to control their military with drugs.
Is that what we want to go to? That we're controlling people by using drugs? Is that the direction we're headed to? The movement to legalize psilocybin began in recent years with cities across U.S. such as Denver, Oakland, Seattle, and Detroit passing laws. But only 2 states have passed similar laws. Oregon became the first to decriminalize it when voters approved a ballot measure in 2020, followed by Colorado in 2022. You notice it's the same states that are pushing cannabis regulations are the first ones to legalize it. You notice that, especially Colorado? Efforts are being made in several states, including Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and California, which California has already failed once. They're trying to rework that one, where bills are making their way through state houses, according to the Psychedelic Alpha website, which tracks legislation. Psilocybin is a natural occurring psychedelic compound found in magic mushrooms and can penetrate the central nervous system, according to Johns Hopkins Medical. The compound comes from certain types of psilocybin mushrooms. Psilocybin is metabolized in the body to the active drug psilocybin, also present in many of the same mushrooms. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration says mushrooms containing psilocybin are available fresh or dry and have long, slender stems topped by caps with dark grills on the underside, the DEA says. Fresh mushrooms have white or whitish gray stems with caps that are dark brown around the edges and light brown or white in the center. Dried mushrooms are usually rusty brown. You could feel the effects of magic mushrooms about 30 minutes after taking them, according to the myhealth.alberta.ca, the website of Alberta, Canada's government, and Alberta Health Services, which I wouldn't be trusting anything that comes out of Canada these days. The effects last about 3 to 6 hours and are the strongest the first 3 to 4 hours. Magic mushrooms can change the way people see, smell, hear, taste, and touch hallucinations. Honestly, 30 minutes, maybe it's changed, but I recall in experiences with my friends, they used to kick in a lot quicker. Now, I don't understand that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why. Could it be that they were smoking marijuana? Could it be that they were drinking at the same time, and maybe that changed the level of the situation? I don't know. But hey, listen, I've known it to activate a lot more quicker. See, the thing is, when it comes to legalizing all these drugs, not enough research is done. They just, swiped the pen and they said, like I said before, pass it and then we'll read it later, or
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
feel the effects later. We've gotten to the point, our medical technology should be top notch. We should be able to find better cures for cancer and diabetes and mental health. We should be able to work these things within the science that we have in this country, but we don't. We cheapen ourselves. Like everything else in this country, we've cheapened the regulations. We've cheapened how our medical health services do. I mean, our medical health services is just literally a conveyor belt. It just, you know, if you're ever in New York, take a moment and walk to First Avenue in 26th Street to Bellevue Hospital and walk into the clinic area and just sit there for about an hour or two and look at the line of people that are waiting to be helped. And we're not talking one, we're talking multiple. We're talking everything from eyes to feet to heart to, you know, to blood vessels, you know. And I'll tell you, when me and my wife, this was at the time of her stroke, when she had to go to Bellevue Hospital, we used to go there and we used to have to wait online well over an hour. And, you know, we got there early and basically it passed her appointment. Like, we're supposed to be there for an 11 o'clock appointment. We got there about 9:30ish, something like that. And by the time we saw the doctor, it was like well after noon because we were online to check in. And the thing about it is, these hospitals are overtaxed with just basically the regular patients, illegal immigration, people from other countries visiting that have gotten injured, and basically, you know, they're in the hospital as well, and they're sent. A lot of them are sent to Bellevue Hospital. But, you know, you have these situations that, you know, they push these drugs out. I mean, right now you have the Ozempic situation right now that someone got sick because of that drug it's a diabetes drug that people are using it for weight loss. Think about that for a minute. You're taking a diabetic drug so you can lose some weight. You know, it tells me, and I'll tell you this from experience, from when I was in the hospital for a time, and they sent me to a rehabilitation center, and I was on a strict diet, and I lost over 100 pounds. It's possible through diet and exercise to lose weight. You know, I'm still heavy, but the thing about it is, at least I lost the weight. It is possible on there. Yes, it's difficult, but, you know, people want a shortcut to things, a shortcut to illness, a shortcut to weight loss, you know, a shortcut to pain reduction. This is not the way to go. You know, hurting yourself further is not the way to go. And this is what happens. And then, you know, still stuff like mushrooms and cannabis is still illegal in most places, and people try to get around that. I mean, listen, if you want to smoke pot, that's your problem. Pushing to legalize it is not the way to go. You know, you enjoy it, go right ahead. You know, you're into your own problem. And I always see people in the comment line, well, it's never anything happened to me. Well, good. Nothing has happened to you. Good. But I know a lot of people that things have happened to them. And it hasn't been fun. So, you tell me in the comments below, is New Jersey right to go in this direction? Or do we need more research? Do we need more to look into this? Which it hasn't been really done. It is just the cliff, like I said, this is the cliff notes when it comes to passing these laws. You know, it doesn't matter what subject, you know, pick a subject matter. It's cliff notes every time. They throw the worst of it and they say, hey, we'll help you, or, you know, get rid of this. I mean, you want to hear the joke? They said, well, we got to go to battery operated cars. But meanwhile, guess what happened? We just had a cold spell. There was a shitload of cars in Chicago that could not move because the batteries would not charge properly. So don't forget to like and share this video, and be sure to hit that subscription, because I hope today I've earned your subscription. We're almost at 1,000, so let's try to get it up there. For those of you who, you know, has procrastinated, that you're not there yet. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.